Hello friends, welcome back to the fourth layout for Mini Kit Monday. I wanted to show you what I have going on. So I'm working through the RTS Scrapbooking Summer Edition or whatnot, the 2-page edition, and I was instructed by the lovely and talented Miss Janet to grab. I have 2 cardstock or background paper, so I'm going to be using, and I think I'm going to switch it around this way because these, no, really doesn't matter. This way? Nope. All right, so I have these 2 pieces of pretty tight slat, gosh, it's not quite pink and it's not coral, but it's pink with that tinge of coral in it, wood grain. And then we were instructed for the number 2 pattern in our kit. We had to grab that, and the number 2 pattern is the palm tree pattern in my kit. And that is this pattern right here, and this is the back side of the same pattern. So I'm trying to decide which side I want to use. And then the number 3 pattern in my kit is this floral pattern right here, and I just have white on the back side of that. So it's a single-sided paper, so I have to kind of decide what my vibe is going to be for that. And then finally, the number 4 pattern is this 8x8, and it's lace and it's single-sided on the other side, so I don't know if I want a bunch of white or pattern or what. I have no idea. Now the pictures I'm going to use are all from about, I think they're the same day, of my daughter Shay and her boyfriend, and they were down in Florida. And this says East Palaca. I think they went to St. Augustine. I think they drank from the Fountain of Youth, which both of them declared was not that exciting. It was just kind of not great tasting water from a fountain that some smart guy a very long time ago, is it Ponce de Leon, decided that he could make some dollars from coming up with this sensation of a fountain. Anyway, they said the water was not good. Anywho, these are the photos I'm going to use. I don't know the configuration I have planned yet for them, but I do like that I'll be able to get a day of one of their adventures kind of shoved all in at the same, on the same layout. Not that it's shoved. I absolutely love scrapbooking, so I never mean anything disparaging by it, but I love the fact that I'll get a whole day of adventure because they kind of went on, I don't know, they planned a day, they planned an adventure while they were down in Florida at his grandparents' house, and they just went for it. I love that about these 2, that they go on adventures. Okay, which then they send me photos to scrapbook. So I'm going to do my best. I won't be able to get both pages in my screen without putting my tripod up to the ceiling, and then you won't be able to see it. So I'm going to figure out what I want for my configuration, and then I also get to know that I have these extra papers right here because Janet had us go ahead and choose a couple of papers we wanted as extras because, I mean, geez, clearly this isn't enough pattern, right? So in the event that I'm not feeling those extras, I can always use the back side of any of these pieces of paper. This is where I drew most of my kit from because I have white on the back side. So if I don't like any of the papers in here, I can use the flip side. I have a lot of ways I can work with this. So I am going to go ahead and speed up the next part and do a voiceover as soon as I figure out what my plan is, because I have no idea. Now we might get a little bit of glare in this video because I'm not in my usual scrappy space and I'm just using a handy dandy small light that I use upstairs for my crafting when I come up here. Okay, here we go, friends. So I'm starting right away with taking a look at this, and I decided I wanted to match my photos from the get-go. I have a little bit of this stripy paper left and a little bit of the coral polka dotted paper left. So I figure, hey, this is part of the original kit. I really want to start with the original kit and see if I need to go beyond that, if that makes sense. So these photos are not the same size, and that's perfectly fine with me. I am going to make a photo block out of them, so it's going to give you the feel sorry, my dog is snoring again. The feel of a photo block, and that is absolutely great. I was having some fun playing around with my Canon selfie sizes of photos, and I ended up kind of liking it. So now these 4 down here, I'm going to do in a large photo block of 4. So I have 2 different photo blocks that I'm going to have. I'm going to have one on each side. And there's all kinds of things, but this is all from one day of events. The reason why I knew it was one day is because my daughter has on the same clothes. So when I went to print them, I'm like, okay, I'm going to just grab all of those, and that's going to work out for this double page layout. Otherwise, this would be 2 or 3 layouts for me. So what I'm doing here is I'm grabbing a piece of paper that I didn't think I would end up using the pattern for, just so that I can go ahead and map this photo block as well as the other one with a little bit of white, because I need a little breakup of all of the patterns, and the white's going to give me a little tiny resting space and a way to pop the photos up off the page. I am not going to be putting any of these photos up on fun foam, unfun foam, or tape or anything like that. So this is a nice way to delineate this is photos and these are scrappy supplies. That is the thought process behind that. So now I'm going to go ahead and start getting the base of my layout on with all of these great pattern papers. So I didn't want to make you sit through all of the process, but I'm showing you on the left that palm frond paper I did slice into, as well as the floral paper, so I could have them stretch out behind my photo block. And I did fishtail the palm frond paper, but not the floral paper. So it's going to give me a nice little like spread out kind of design. So here is the base. Everything here is attached. I have the banner, the palm frond banner, running all the way across the bottom of, well, I don't know, it's not across the bottom, but I have that running across the page on both sides. And the floral piece I have running both vertical and horizontal, but I did want to be able to see the floral on both layouts. So that's carrying through ever so nicely, and I am going to go ahead for my metallic, I guess, for the most part. I have this bronzy, was it Oasis? I cannot remember the name of this collection. Or was it Wild Heart? Anywho, going ahead and using these stickers, they're on foam, so they're on foam and they're sticky, so they are staying on ever so nicely. So I'm going to get that title on, and it's going to, yeah, it's gonna take a second because I have it in a couple of places. So there's my title, Sweet Paradise Getaway, and that's concentrating the title on the left side. At the very, very end, and I don't think it's on film, I'm going to go ahead and take a little heart from that thicker collection and put it on the right side of the layout, just to bring that across for like a kind of like a bringing your eye around in a nice little visual triangle. So that does end up working. That very large circle that you see there in the mac and cheese yellow orange is a hand-me-down piece of these epoxy pieces. I put it there on the middle left, as well as on the upper left of the right side. So that's going in 3 places as well. From these die cuts, I did like that little tag, and I will go ahead and put the little piece of string that came in that collection in it. It's just a little skinny black kind of twine. And I'll attach that going halfway, well, on a bit of an angle underneath the photos. I like doing that with my little die cut embellishments. It's not like this is like some kind of a beautiful, serious layout. It's whimsical and fun and all kinds of summer goodness is what it is. So I have these fab brads that I am using as part of this Mini Kit Monday kit. And I've been working away at including them, and I've made a Fab Dent. You'll see in my Kit layout share video that I only have these itty bitty little solid ones left that I can include into any kit. So I was really excited to be able to use up all the beachy tropical ones during this kit. It was a brand new set of brads, so big win for me. I know, not that big of a deal, but a little tiny victory in the scrapbooking stash that I have. So, and those brads are not new. I got them in a warehouse box somewhere along the way, on my mind's eye warehouse box. So I have not gotten a warehouse box in quite a minute. If you guys see any warehouse boxes available, will you let me know? I need them for my collective series. I know, I'm asking for help, but you guys might see something that I may not see. So you see that I flip my layout over and I'm using some washi tape. I always have a roll of washi tape handy that is not necessarily for the layouts that I'm doing. It's for housekeeping reasons, like tying some kind of string or fabric back behind my layout, or covering up the brads so that they don't eat the layouts behind them in page protectors. You know what I mean. Okay, full disclosure, people. I have 2 bulldogs laying on the bed where I am doing this voiceover, and they are in a really nice deep sleep. Apparently they have surpassed the REM stage, and they are snoring away like loud little banshees. So I apologize for that. So I would have to say that I have been having a really good time working through these 2-page layouts. They take a lot longer for me, and yes, I do know that it's a double-page layout. So you're going to have more content and more supplies. So I love the aspect that I'm using up more and I'm sharing more photos of situations. So I think I will be continuing to incorporate more. I actually, it's kind of funny. I don't like the way it looks though when I film, especially when I'm not. I'm sorry, I was talking about how I don't like the way it looks when I film for a 2-page layout, especially when I'm not in my downstairs space, because you see my handy dandy tablecloth beneath my scrapbooking surface there. I am getting a new table tomorrow though, which is all fancy and not scratched up and will not need a tablecloth. So maybe it will look better starting tomorrow. Anyway, I did get a call and got interrupted. It kind of shuts off my iPad when I do a voiceover because I have my phone and my iPad are synced up to each other. So every once in a while I'll be filming or whatever and it'll just shut it off and I don't realize it. So you see there I'm using that gold holographic looking little sticker pieces. I just wanted to get some of these. They're kind of like palm fronds. I don't know. There's something tropical and they're these really nice rounded out tropical leaves. I don't know what they're called, but they look good on the layout and that's what matters. And the guy in this layout, Nick, he is kind enough to be wearing a Fab tropical shirt, so it all works in for the tropical vibe that I have going here and there. So you see that I found some little round puffy stickers and I was able to get a few of those on here as well. It's kind of interesting. Now that's part of the My Mind's Eye collection that the palm frond paper's from, but the puffy stickers that go with it just don't match it that well. So that's interesting. My dog just coughed. They don't match it that well. So you really have to pick and choose which layouts you include them on, even though they're from the same exact collection. All right, you see I'm doing the handy dandy enamel dots and I'm using them in several places. I seem to have a never-ending supply of them, so I can be generous when I feel like it. All right, so that's about it for this layout. Down below are links for the Fab Ladies that are part of Mini Kit Monday. And if you would like to subscribe, all that stuff, I would so appreciate it. And feel free to leave a comment because I'll get back to you, no doubt, within 24 hours because I like to do that with a morning cup of coffee. All right, goodbye, friends. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. You have no idea how much your support means to me. Goodbye.